What's going on, everybody? Great podcast. We got Gino Marino, top agent, does anywhere between $35 and $45 million, all word of mouth, zero advertising on Long Island, been in the game for 10 years. A lot of insight for new agents and existing agents who are looking to take off during a time where is the market going up? Is the market going down? Is the market going to go flat? We don't know. Gino's a great resource. Enjoy.
Yeah, kid, welcome. We're going to get back to another episode of Smells Like Kathy with Handsome. My name is Charles, a.k.a. the Handsome Umpire, a.k.a. Captain Permit, a.k.a. you're fucking back. I love them, but they've been slacking on the... You're a little rusty. You're a little rusty. That wasn't that. There was no feeling in it.
I never even understand a word you say when you say that.
Dude, do you speak Italian?
No.
No?
I'm first generation too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Did your parents your parents speak it, but they didn't want to speak it because they wanted to be able to talk about you and you didn't know?
They wanted me to fit in with the kids, so they didn't teach it to me.
Really?
Yeah. And now it's one of my biggest regrets. I wish they would have taught it.
Yeah.
But,
no, knowing languages is huge.
yeah, they, I don't know any other languages. I mean, I took Spanish in school, not even Italian.
They're like they're not the same, but they're similar.
They're similar, very similar. I lose a lot of it, but if I'm boozed up, I think I can speak it fluently.
Italian?
Yeah.
Or at least it sounds like
Spanish.
Or at least it sounds like it's
It sounds like it, but no, when I'm boozed up, it all comes back to me.
What is your drink? I feel like you're a wine guy.
No, tequila.
Fuck.
Straight tequila.
I wasn't even close. Tequila is usually an angry person drink. You are not angry.
No, I think it's tequila is the only upper.
Yeah?
As far as liquors go, as far as I think.
What do you like? What do you like drunk? Because you're a cool cat when you're sober.
I mean, it depends.
Hey, who made that shirt?
Who
made that shirt?
Oh, Saks.
Yeah?
That's where I got it from. I don't know who makes it. No, it depends. There's always that fine limit of, like, I'm cool, calm, collected, and then if it's too much, then it's just downhill and take me home. So, yeah. Other than that, no, it's tequila. Tequila, I'm pretty even with. I could drink a bottle of tequila and be okay, but if I drink like 3 margaritas or like 3, what do you call them?
Martinis?
Martinis. It's lights out.
Vodka does it for you? Yeah.
Gin martini. Gin does it. Gin knocks me out.
Yeah?
Yeah. But tequila, good to go. Scotch also. Love scotch.
Not into wine?
Scotch, bourbon, tequila.
Scotch, bourbon, tequila.
Yeah, and the darks.
The darks. All the stuff that puts hair on your
tequila.
chest.
It's good, man. The stuff with flavor. Wine, I never got into it.
No?
You're a wine person?
No, I actually, I don't drink at all. I've never been drunk.
What?
The only thing I drink, literally, is water. That's it.
Well, that's amazing. But you've never been drunk?
Never. Ever. Not even come close.
College?
No, nothing.
Wow.
No, not at all.
Who are you?
Well, I mean, let's think about this logically, right? Let's go back to the moment when you first sipped booze for the first time, right?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you liked it.
No, it was terrible.
Okay, exactly. So there's my point. Like, I drank this, I'm like, oh, this tastes like shit. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And I just cut it right there.
Yeah, but you acquire a taste like anything else, like certain foods that you might not have liked later on, you start to enjoy.
Like what? What's a food that you hated that you now love?
I am the pickiest eater ever.
Yeah?
It's like
well, you're Italian.
chicken.
We eat
I know,
everything.
but chicken. I don't eat any fish. No fish. No seafood.
Fish? Huh?
No
fish.
I don't even eat. I don't eat chopped meat. I don't eat like meatballs. I'm the worst Italian.
You don't eat meatballs?
No.
Bro, what kind of Italian are you?
Fake one.
Your name is Gino Marino.
No. No meatballs. No chopped meat. I don't eat hamburger. I've never had a hamburger.
You've never had a hamburger?
Never had a
hamburger. How do you
hamburger.
know if you don't like it?
Same thing with booze.
Bro, I've tried booze. It's
Yeah.
fucking gross. You could just smell booze. Like a hamburger is beautiful. Bro, it's American. You're American. It's America.
I don't know.
It's like hating baseball. You hate baseball?
Nah, I like baseball, but it's something with chopped meat. Just like to process it, like I don't know, just grosses me out. No chopped meat whatsoever.
It's just the whole aspect of how it comes together.
Yeah. You ever see people preparing meatballs? It's disgusting.
Did you have a bad experience?
No, I've never had one. I just don't. I don't know. I never had burger. I'm sure I've had a meatball when I was younger, but I don't eat them. Not that I can remember. But if you ask my mother, I'm sure she'll say I've had them before.
All right, so no meatballs, no chopped meat.
No chopped meat, no fish, no seafood. Literally pasta, chicken, steak, salad, fruits, vegetables. That's basically it.
All right, that works.
Yeah. gets
That
me
works.
where I need to be.
So I'm putting out a video. I thought we just did a deal together.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome, right? Keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Awesome. In a time where people in the market are getting a little nervous, we're in there. We have multiple offers over the asking price. Very solid buyers. I'm very excited about it. Did a property in Plainview together. Came together great.
Yeah.
And
House looks amazing.
thank you.
Yeah.
And we had never met before that. And all of
No.
a sudden, we met through Instagram.
Yes. I hit you up.
Yeah.
I think I reached out to you because I had that property and then one other one in Dix Hills area.
Yep.
And then we ended up getting you that one in Plainview. First time I met you was at that house. You pulled up in your
Mini Cooper at
the
the
Mini
time.
Cooper. Mini Cooper. You were heavier than you are now, so you definitely lost weight.
15 pounds, bro.
Had to be more than that from that
Was
time.
it?
That's got to be almost like
Did I look that fat?
a year and a half,
Fuck.
2 years ago.
Was I that fat, dude?
Yeah, you
I was
carried
a little,
it well. You
I was a
carried it
little
well. You
chubby,
weren't-
right?
You were big.
I don't know. I wasn't big, bro. Big? Big?
You were working. You were lifting at the same time, though. So food and lifting.
Bigger. We'll go with that.
It was in my
But
face. My face is skinnier.
It was
right?
definitely your
Yeah.
face. It was more your face.
That was my whole friggin' body.
And I like the beard.
Thanks, man.
I think you should keep the beard look.
Because I need something to break it up. Like
Yeah.
otherwise it's just like I always say, like a thumb.
Right.
Fucking head looks like a thumb.
beard
So we
looks
did
good,
that.
though.
We did that deal together, and you smoked it. And then I realized I was like, dude, who is Gino Marino? And then I started talking to people. They're like, yo, Gino Marino's fucking huge. He does like 35, 40, 45 million dollars worth a year in business. So where did this guy come from? You're like the silent assassin.
Yeah. I stay low key, man. I don't.
But
I'm not
how do
big
you?
on-
But just think about the concept of that for a second. You and I guess, are kind of polar opposites, right? Because I'm as in your face as you could possibly get.
Yeah, for sure. But that works for you. That's good. That works for you.
But I do it because of like, oh, I need the business, which in this case proved to work, right?
Yeah.
I'm so curious with you, and I'm sure a lot of agents are also, as to how you maintain a low profile and do that level of business. That's a shit ton of business.
I mean, it's word of mouth.
How many years you been doing this?
95% referrals. So
How many years you been doing this?
now I got licensed when I was 26, but not till I was like 27 did I start really doing like transactions. So about 11 years.
So you're 10 years
Yeah,
deep.
10, 11
you're 10
years.
years deep. Okay.
Took me 2 years to get that, 5-6 million under my belt of doing deals.
Okay.
And then from there, just every year been
Which is like
growing
10
and
to
growing.
12 transactions.
About, yeah.
One a month.
So,
Okay.
yeah, roughly. I'm over in Dix Hills area, so prices are a little different over there.
Yeah.
Which works to my benefit. But yeah, it took me about 2 years, and then from there, just been growing it every year. And I think if you're good at what you do and you do the right thing by people, they tell other people, and you get referrals from there, and so on and so forth. So it's just been luckily growing and growing. I don't spend zero. I spend $0 on marketing or
Wow.
advertising. I don't do Zillow leads. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just where I spend my money is networking. I network. I'll go out and meet people, do things, go to events. That's the extent of my marketing.
No, you and I kind of walk the same path in the sense that that's how I built my business.
Yeah.
So as well as like, I had no money at the beginning, so I'm like, all right, how am I gonna monetize this? I'm like, how am I gonna bring in business without being able to advertise and do all the stuff?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm trying to be a systems guy. I'm not the best systems guy when it comes to CRMs and all that shit.
Me either. I'm not good with any of that stuff or social media in general. Anything with the computer, I'm not great with. So I hire people to do it for me now.
Okay.
Because it's just CRMs. I hate like inputting the information and doing it all. So I used to have like a paper CRM where I would like write everything. I had this notebook where I would keep track of all my clients. I would make a binder for each person
Oh God.
with like
Well, so you're an organized guy.
yeah. I'm very organized, just paper. Like my calendar on my phone, like I use it, but I'm still like if you look.
You're like at that age where you're on the cusp of people that are really either not technologically savvy or are.
Right.
I'm not.
Like I have everything in my calendar, but I
Right.
still use paper. Like every morning I go to my office and I take it off. My assistant writes it down, what my schedule is for the day, and I take it and I bring it in the car and I go through that. And I barely ever check my phone
So,
or my calendar.
what does your team look like? It's you and an assistant?
It's just me and 2 assistants. Yeah. So no team. Just I
Oh, so you
work
have
by
2
myself.
assistants?
Yeah, 2 assistants.
2 full-time assistants?
2 full time. One does all of my office work and like my day-to-day whatever I need, and then the other one helps me with showings and filling in slots that I might need of like doing an open house, or one's licensed, one's not. So
Got
the
it.
one that's licensed handles all that other stuff, and the other one just handles my schedule and all office stuff. So
Do you have that much going on that you need that?
yes and no. So at times, absolutely. At certain times, like one of them doesn't do too much,
Okay.
but like from March through September, October, yeah. So a couple of months where it's a little slow, but I don't want to not have her for a couple of months.
No, it makes sense.
So I pay her for the whole year. But
So
I need them.
at what point did you start adding support staff?
When I was losing business for no reason. So, because I couldn't handle it, and I was just losing it because I would either not follow up, or they would just fall through because I don't do a CRM, so they would just fall through the cracks. People
Yeah.
would call me, and I forgot to call them back. So when I started noticing I was losing business, I was like, all right, let me get an assistant to basically manage my schedule, and also the other one to every lead I get, I send to her now.
Okay.
She goes to them all. She'll vet them whether they're like a real person or not, or so on and so forth.
So you would say a lead to list the property?
Like a buyer lead.
Okay.
Listing leads I do myself. Buyer leads. So I get people that from listings, buyers that will call.
Got it.
And hey, interested in this property, or can you come show me these properties, this
Got
and
it.
that. I don't have the time anymore to drive to 30 houses in one day and
Yeah.
show somebody the whole day. So that's where she comes in key.
Got it. Makes sense. So when you say you're doing anywhere between 35 and 45 million consistently the last few years, how many transactions, like how many houses is that?
So I think on average, like my median price, when I look at it like at the end of the year, falls between somewhere around like 900 and change. So it's
Okay.
roughly like 40 something transactions.
40 to
Yeah.
50 houses. Wow. And do you purposely look to be in that higher end market because you feel like it makes more sense?
No,
Or that's just-
I'll take listings everywhere and anywhere. I've sold things in the 2s, 3s, 4, but I think it's just where I am and where I started selling. It's kind of like 800 to 3 million is the range.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just where most of my listings will be. But buyers, I really go anywhere. Listings, I'll go anywhere too, but that's kind of where my demographic is now.
You got into real estate in a bad time, it sounds like. Like when you got into
Yeah.
real estate, it was like shit.
It was right after the crash, so
Yeah.
it was terrible. I think it's going to start being by next year what it was when I first came in. So it's going to be a lot slower.
Yeah.
And you really got to work hard for your deals.
Yeah.
Whereas the past year and a half, it's been a little bit easier
So work hard for your deals in the sense of what? To get listings or to get the stuff sold?
to get the stuff sold.
Okay.
To get the stuff sold and to get listings, because really to get things sold, because now you get 5, 10, 20 offers on a house. Well, it used to be.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do anything. You put it on, you market it a little bit. People are coming to you because there's no inventory. But when there's not a lot of buyers and there's more inventory or not that much inventory, you have to try to find a buyer now, as opposed to them coming to you.
Yeah, I think a bunch of things play into this, and I think a lot of agents haven't seen this because they've enjoyed their entire career, especially even myself, not as an agent but as an investor, my entire career in an up market, with the exception of COVID, which was like 30 seconds of freak out and then an explosion,
Yeah.
which ultimately is bringing us to where we are right now. But I think relationships with fellow realtors and mortgage people is going to become a lot more important as the market changes.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to have to, like, you want to know other realtors so everyone can work together, everybody can trust each other, especially also on the mortgage side. Like, you know, I'm noticing that I'm doing that. More and more people like you and I, we're fielding all these offers that are coming through on that Plainview house. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's not about maximum dollar. It's about who is going to close.
Yeah.
You know, what agents do we like that we know deliver quality people that screen everybody, and then B, on the finance side, who do we feel comfortable with, or who do I feel comfortable with that is actually going to close?
Yeah. So it's not the norm to try to get somebody to go through, like, if they're pre-qual, to try to get them to be pre-approved, just to double check their finances, because sometimes people get offended. You've probably had, with the volume you do, you've probably had a bunch of deals that have fallen apart, I'm assuming. that, and then you've lost buyers in the process, and then when you want to go back, this and that.
On the finance side.
On the finance side, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it also depends on price ranges. So usually buyers that are looking in that middle to upper, like that $7-8 million plus, they're usually a lot more knowledgeable, and they're not going to waste their own time looking at places if they can't afford it.
That's a valid point.
So usually, if they have a pre-approval, it's usually pretty good. You always call the mortgage broker or whoever it's through just to double check and see what kind of pre-approval they got. But from what my experience, usually in those upper markets, people aren't wasting their own time by going around, as opposed to, like a 300, they might make a phone call and say, hey, I need a pre-approval, and that person might be like, oh, how much you make a year? Okay, here's your pre-approval.
Yeah.
And not checking anything.
No, that's a valid point. And when I think back to it, so I never wanted to have people screened by a loan officer in the past because I thought it was kind of obnoxious. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I've seen guys say stuff like, if you're not using this guy, don't even call me, which, I mean, you can't do. It's not right.
Yeah.
But to your point now that you're bringing it up, it's really in the now, let's say 600 or under, or especially with the FHA deals, where like there was a house
Those get dicey.
I mean, bro, there was a house that we did. We sold the house for $675 in Bayshore. We had over a dozen offers, and only 2 of them were qualified.
Wow.
I had 3 deals fall apart in a week that were under contract for over 60 days. One of the people lost their down payment with a commitment because they couldn't qualify to close.
Wow.
So that's what shifted my entire thought process.
Yeah.
And working with Sal from Cardinal, there's been a lot of close calls that we've avoided now.
Yeah.
Where LOs are like, hey, everything's good, and then we look at the docs and like, dude, this guy's got like an 80 DTI.
Yeah, so to me, that's more of a mistake on the financial side of whoever that person, that buyer's trusting to do their loan, because now they're telling them, yeah, you're approved. That person didn't want to lose their deposit, so I'm sure they thought that they were good to go because that's what their loan officer
They don't
told
know.
them.
Yeah, they don't
They
know.
have no idea.
No idea. No idea.
Which is scary because, you put your trust into somebody and they also don't know what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, I get why you do it, and you're not the only person I know that does it. And it makes sense, but it does make the deal a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, it does. So, I mean, listen, you're a seasoned veteran. You do a ton of business, 40, 50 plus deals a year. I mean, big volume. What would be your advice to agents? Well, there's a couple different agents that I think we got to talk to right now. We got to talk to the newer agents. A lot of people that are coming into the business.
Yeah.
How to build their brand. How to really, because it's a struggle. Recently, it's been hard for agents to, to get listings because obviously there aren't that many of them.
Yep.
And then if you're working with buyers, there's 30 offers on every property.
Yep.
Right. So talk to those people for a second.
Oof. So
you did it once upon a time. Once upon a time, you had never done a deal before, and the world was crumbling.
So I never had like a mentor. So I was just big on researching and getting as much knowledge as possible. So I would Google everything. Like, so if I didn't know something, I would Google it, or maybe I'd ask my manager at the time. But most of the time, like if I went into a new neighborhood, so I would say like knowledge is key. I think research areas that you're in, know everything about that area, so that you could at least have the knowledge when you get a buyer or somebody come across your plate that you know what to do with them.
Are you of the opinion to start in a town or a series of 1 or 2 towns and just straight up dominate those areas and then expand out from there?
I used to be.
Do you
yes.
do it unconsciously?
I used to be, yes, but now I don't think you should hone yourself to one area, because then you're limiting yourself on the whole island. So if you get a buyer in another town, you don't want to just give away that buyer, especially if you're new. You want to take every deal you could possibly get.
Yeah, of course.
Because any deal is going to give you experience, and that experience is what's going to build your confidence. But, to new agents, I think if you could, for the next 2-3 years, if you could survive and not get weeded out with everybody else, I think my advice would be get as much knowledge in the areas that you're working. If you can get a mentor, get one, because they're going to just speed along your process of what you're doing as far as, again, knowledge.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man, because I took a different route. It's tough for me to, I could say the easy things: market, advertise yourself, use your brokerage numbers until you make your own numbers, like that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I never did any of that. So
you just networked, basically.
I just network, and and that was it. Like,
So when you were out there networking, especially at the beginning, like I was out there 2, 3, 4 nights a week. Were you doing the same thing?
yeah.
I think
Every day.
I think networking, especially post COVID, is something that is just not utilized the way it needs to be.
Yeah, and door knocking used to be a thing when.
Do you door knock?
Yeah.
No
I still
shit.
I still door knock. Yeah.
Do you?
It's a little dicier now because of COVID and everything, and people, you never know what house you're knocking on, and people are opening it up a mess. Like, so you never know when you're gonna get cursed out. But door knocking was something that I started doing when I first got into the business, and still do now. And
What's your? How often do you door knock now? Like
Now-
weekly?
no, now I'll go like bi-weekly, like once every 2 weeks I'll go out to an area, or if I have a buyer or a couple of buyers that are looking in a specific area, I'll door knock like crazy for a couple of days that week.
Nice. That's interesting. Just saying, hey, listen, I have buyers in the area.
Yeah.
You're looking to sell. Has it ever worked?
Yes.
How often does that stuff turn into because I think a lot of agents who just don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable, let's face it.
Yeah.
Cold calling, like yesterday, I wanted to test this new CRM that we're developing. So I sat there and cold called for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's not it's not the most fun thing in the world, but like if you just numb yourself to it and you just do it,
Yeah.
but it works.
Absolutely. It's a numbers game.
So how effective is door knocking for you?
I think it's the same thing as cold calling. It's a numbers game. So if you go to enough houses and you knock on enough doors, you might not get that listing, but I've had people that I've knocked on their door and they're like, oh, the Joneses 3 doors down are actually looking to sell. They're friends of ours. Why don't you go there, tell them that so-and-so sent you over there.
That's smart.
So I've had that, or I've had people where I've door knocked. Oh, we're not interested now, but maybe in the future. Give them my info, follow up with them over the course of a year. And then they're like, okay, actually, we do want to sell. Or my daughter's looking for a home. So like it's really you interacting and meeting people.
Yeah. The more
And-
conversations you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and if you could vibe with somebody and you stay in contact with them and you keep your name in their head somehow, when they know somebody looking or they're looking,
Yeah.
they might be more inclined to shoot you a call or whatever it is.
Where do you get your sense of fashion from?
I don't know.
You look like
That's a good question.
you look like
That's-
you're strolling around. I could see you right now strolling in someplace in Italy, sitting down, having a cappuccino.
It would be nice. I need a trip. I don't know. I've always been into fashion since at least that's what my mother tells me since I'm a kid.
Yeah?
Always liked clothes. Probably get it from her. She's big into fashion. Not my dad. My dad's like blue jean. Like my mom buys all his clothes. Like he'll wear Walmart jeans, doesn't care, dirty boots. He's like, I guess, a guy's guy. Pickup truck. But I'm into fashion. I don't know. It's just always been.
You go to college?
USF. Yeah.
University of South Florida?
Yeah.
That must have been a wild
Tampa.
time.
It was getting the heat. I'm not a heat person, but
Me
it
neither.
was.
I melt in the heat, dude.
Me too. I like the cold, or like give me March, April out here. I'm
Do you
good.
do you have vitiligo like I do?
I do.
I have it too.
Do you?
Yeah. Well,
So mine's actually
big
got
spots all over me, bro.
Do you?
Spots everywhere.
Mine came out when I was young. I was like,
Maybe it's an Italian thing.
It could be.
My buddy Sal's got
they
it
say
also.
it runs in the fit. Like it's
Nobody in
like,
my family has it.
So that's odd. So nobody like great grandparents have had it of mine, but other than that, it hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
so I'm
my whole
very
body.
fair complected to
whole
begin
body.
with. So you don't really notice it except for the summer months when I get like a little bit of a tan. It'll come out.
Yeah.
But
No, you don't
stress
see it.
brings it out.
I've never noticed it
Yeah.
in you, and then you were sitting there. I was like, I
Here.
think he has like I do.
I do. Yeah. Came out when I was like 19, but a couple of spots, and not till like 3 years ago did it start to progress.
Yeah, me too. Same thing. Nobody in my family has it. Super
stress,
weird.
man. It's stress. They say stress brings it out.
Are you stressed? You don't look stressed, bro. You look pretty damn
There's a
young.
lot going on in here. There's a lot going on in here. And just show a good demeanor.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, you have to join my text platform. I'm doing a ton of one-on-one engagement in there and giving away all my best secrets on fix and flip, rental properties, how to find off-market deals, and how to succeed at the highest level in the real estate business. Shoot me a text.
I remember I went to a house. I went into this house. This is when it like really. I've had these my entire life, and then I went to a house maybe like 3 years ago, and there's fleas everywhere. I come out of the house completely covered in fleas, throwing clothes on the lawn. Like this happens at least once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Levy went through this with me. We got a whole video
Bonkers.
dedicated to this shit. So every summer we get fleas. So I have like these. All of a sudden, my entire like right side of my body goes white, like from here over. It's like
Really?
white. So I go to the dermatologist. I'm like, listen, I think I have, Michael Jackson disease. He's like, no, you got bitch. It's this whole thing. So he biopsies me, takes all this blood, puts me through this whole rigmarole.
Yeah.
Says, come back in 2 weeks. I'm like, so what is it? He goes, I think it might be like, you got bit by something. It could be Lyme, could be anything. And he goes, oh, no, you got Michael Jackson disease. And
They were able to tell that from your blood test?
yeah, he's like, oh, nothing's wrong with you. You have vitiligo. I was like,
Yeah,
bro, that's what I told you.
Yeah. That's
So
fun.
all of a sudden, like, poof, it just appeared everywhere.
Yeah, I know. That's how it was with me a few years ago, because I had like little spots here and then, and all of a sudden just poof, it just started coming out. Mine comes and goes though, which is odd. Usually, like once you get a spot, it usually stays there forever. Mine will come and go. So pigment will come back and then pigment will go again.
Bro.
So it's weird.
Mine is crazy. Like it would when it started happening, it felt itchy, so I started itching it, and literally the color would come off my body.
So it
And
goes like
never come back.
It goes like a red and then it goes to like a white.
Yeah.
And when it's red, it gets a little itchy. And
Yes.
Then,
And then all of a sudden, it's like, it's just so strange.
and then it's just gone.
It's like you took paint thinner and just started rubbing it on a portion of your body, and the color comes off, and it's fucking gone.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird. It's weird. There's things that you could do, but
I don't care.
I don't care either. It
No.
doesn't bother me.
Huh. So back to agent talk. I always think that when markets turn down, it's really the time to like really turn up. So like while I'm turning down a little bit on the buy side because I'm going to start to get, I wanted to do 200 houses this year, but I'm going to get more conservative as
Yeah.
far as like my numbers.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to be adjusting down 10, 12, 15% depending on the market and the price point for what I see coming, like let's say 6, 9, 12 months from now.
Yep.
So if a house was selling for $500,000 a month ago, I'm going to approach that same deal today as if it's going to sell for 450, 4.25.
Right.
Because I think that's where we're going to be. I think
Yep.
rates are going to go into the 9s.
Oof.
Personally, sorry, dude.
Oh.
Sorry, man. I don't want that shit.
Yeah. I hope not. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna go into the mid 7s. If they go to the 9s, it's just craziness. I think they're gonna go to the mid 7s.
It's crazy to us because we're used to like 2%.
Yeah, I
But
know.
if you talk to your parents, they're like,
12%.
dude, 16%, 18%.
12%, 12 or 13% when my parents bought. You know what's crazy is when my parents bought on Long Island in like the late 80s or whenever it was, late 80s or I think it was like 89, 90. They bought the house they bought in Dix Hills. It was like a couple 100,000, 13% interest. That same house, for some reason in that area, I mean, the market's gone crazy since then. That house has gone up like maybe $100,000 since the 80s, which is so odd because it just recently sold again it was like
Meaning it hasn't gone up that
the
much.
value over there just hasn't
Where is
changed.
this?
It's in a part of Dix Hills, which is
Really?
weird. Yeah, I
That
don't
is
know.
weird.
It hasn't changed over there, but it's gone up like 100, 150. But since the 90s, things have quadrupled value. So either they just bought really high at that time. I don't know. It's weird.
I guess it depends on where you are in the market cycle, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's certain areas that balloon and not balloon. I don't think values are ever going to drop to like where they were before because, like for example, Mastic. Like Mastic, Bellport, Shirley, that was always a town specific. Those were always towns where you could like buy for 40,000. Then the market would balloon. People buying houses for like 300,000-400,000. Then it would come back down. And I don't think that's ever going to happen again because
No.
rents are too high.
Yeah.
Rents are too high. Like the new rental numbers just came out for like Section 8 CDC. I'm getting $2,911 net to me for a 4-bedroom in Mastic paid
Wow.
directly from the government. Bro, I'm getting $3,000 for a freaking house I paid $60,000 for.
That's
Bananas.
that is banana. That's amazing. How many of those do you have? That's a great.
Over 100.
Jesus.
Yeah, I have over 100 units. But
Wow.
recently I haven't been able to buy anything because the prices are too high. So now I'm flipping. Bro, I just flipped
It's going to start changing soon. The auctions, even the auction prices are high.
The auction prices were always high. I've never bought a house at auction before. Not that I wouldn't, not that it doesn't work for some people, but for me, I've worked them enough to be like, dude, these prices don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like I would rather do other stuff.
Well, you have the people that go to the auctions don't have
The network.
the network that you have that you've built of homeowners coming directly to you. Obviously, that's
And
the way to
agents.
go. And agents going directly to them.
It's a mix. I do a lot of business with agents like
Yeah.
yourself. So like the thing is like you are in the top 0.0001% of agents by far, right?
Yeah.
In every aspect, from gross commission to volume to everything. And you actually play a lot more in the distressed real estate space.
Mm-hmm.
But even you, like, how many houses like Plainview do you come across a year? Couple?
No, a decent amount. So
Yeah.
For the past couple of years, yeah, I'd say.
Why aren't we doing more deals here?
Like Plainview. So I was seeing if I vibe with you. I was testing it out to see if how
did
you would go. I wasn't.
Were you
I
waiting
trusted you, but I wasn't sure if you were going to give back the listing at first. I was just.
Have
seeing.
I been on trial? I'm not offended by this.
No. I just I gotta because I have people that I've been working with for years, and I wasn't sure. I mean, you seem like a man of your word, but until you hit me up,
Everyone's full of shit until
and then-
proven otherwise.
Yeah, you never know.
Facts.
Until you hit me up and you're like, "Hey, I've been trying to find your number."
Yeah, I do. And I put out
Put it on
Instagram blasts for you, dude. I'm
Trying
like,
to find your number.
"Fuck."
Who the hell got me this house? And I was like, dude. But yeah, so that's. I was like, all right, he's a man of his word. But
All right, cool. Are we good to go forward now?
yeah, I'll get like I come across probably 12 to 15 of them.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 12 to
Like,
15.
that's not normal. That's amazing. I'm freaking super thrilled to have met you for many reasons, that obviously being one of them. But for me, your average agent who does 20, 30 deals a year is going to see 1 or 2 shitty
Yeah.
houses. So you have to know everybody.
So a lot of them, believe it or not, come from like friends or people I know of family members who, like somebody might have passed, or somebody's going through something and they need to get rid of their house,
No, that
or
makes
so on and
sense.
so forth. Or somebody has multiple houses and two of them are just vacant, and
Yeah.
so that's where a bulk of them come from. And then other than that, it's just. I don't know. I don't know how they come. I've just been lucky, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
No, that's that's a lot of
Past
shitty
couple of
houses.
years, it's been like 12 to 15 every year. I've been getting, and then like maybe 1 or 2 of them I'll keep for myself,
Yeah?
clean them up, and for
Rent
rental
them?
property and rent them. Yeah.
Nice.
So I've been trying to build up a rental portfolio.
Smart.
But then when the market got crazy, I sold off 5 of them because
It was just so crazy.
the prices were bananas. So I was like, you know what?
I'm just taking profits.
Yeah, I just want to.
I get it. Yeah, no, I do. I get it. Part of me was looking at this and I'm like, should I just sell off all fucking 100 plus of these things and just hang or
Well,
what?
recession's coming soon, so you could buy them all up again.
Yeah,
get them for cheap.
what I ended up doing is like, and I'm finishing it up right now, just refinancing a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then just pulling a whole bunch of money off the table, just letting it sit there and be like, okay, let's prepare for what's going to go on.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is like, you and I are walking that parallel line of like, we've developed strong businesses via networking, but do you want to continue to grow your business, or are you comfortable with where it is right now?
Honestly, I'm comfortable where it is right now.
Yeah.
If it grows, it grows. I'm not doing anything to actively try to, like, I'm
Got
not making a team. I'm not getting more. There's only, and I know it sounds stupid, there's only so much I can handle, but.
No, it makes sense. Listen,
I'm big on, like, so a couple of years ago, if you asked me that same question 5 years ago, I'd say, no, I want to get to 150 million, 200 million, like I want to grow. But quality of life now, like a couple of years ago, I went through some stuff and it's like, I realized that I was just working my life away.
Yeah.
And I wasn't enjoying anything.
I'm there.
So I was like, if I'm making X amount and I'm more than comfortable, I'd rather spend more time with my family, more time with my friends, travel, like enjoy what I'm doing, the money I'm making.
Are you doing that though?
I am, not as much as I'd like to,
When
but
was
I'm
the last
doing it way more than.
When was the last vacation you took?
I mean, I go to Florida here and there, but other than that, I went to Aruba like 3 years ago. But Florida, I'll go back and forth to Naples or to visit friends and stuff. But real vacation, it's been a little while, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Is it?
That was more of a COVID thing, though. Like, you couldn't really travel.
COVID's been over for a little while, bro.
Yeah.
People traveled anyway.
But things got so busy from COVID, so it was like,
Dude, we should make a real estate Rat Pack.
that would be awesome. We should do that.
You would be.
We should do that.
You would be key. You would be key in
We should do that.
Who would it be? I feel like it would me, you. I'm thinking about Peter Grosso.
I've only met him like once or twice, but he's a character.
Good
right?
guy, got the
Yeah.
voice, presence, jacked out of his mind.
Yeah.
We need like
He's a big
5
dude.
people. How many more people were in the real Rat Pack? It was
I think it
Sammy
was-
Davis
I think
Jr.
there was 5, right?
Levy, how many people were in the Rat Pack?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Fuck, we're that old, bro.
About to Google that. Say Google everything.
Google that. So it was Sammy Davis Jr. It was Frank Sinatra. It was some other tall, handsome guy. I think there was 5 of them.
I think there was 5. But
You got it?
you don't get service in this place.
Oh, of course we get service in here. Hold on. I gotta see.
It
what
says
this
the
is.
Rat Pack is back.
You got it?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh no, I'm hooked to the Wi-Fi. That's right. So, Rat
5? Yeah, I thought so.
Here we go. Rat Pack members.
6.
No, there was a girl in there. That doesn't.
Girl?
Angie Dickinson.
Yeah,
How
Dean
can
Martin, Joey Bishop. Well, there's
Peter
5.
Peter Lawford, Sammy Davis, and Frank Sinatra. Who do you want to be? You look like Sinatra.
I could do a Sinatra or Dean Martin. Peter Lawford, Joe.
You could be Dean
I
Martin.
think it was
Yeah,
5.
you could be Dean
I
Martin.
think that was 5.
Who am I gonna be?
I'm gonna go with. I feel like personality-wise, I feel like you should be like a Sammy Davis Jr.
All right, I'm Sammy.
Yeah.
That works. All right, so I'll be Sammy. We need to pick up Frank and 2 other people. We
On
need
the
3
hunt.
people. So let's think about it. Peter Grosso, strong candidate. I like him. Think about it. And then we got to go out and party. Do you go out and party? What do you do?
I enjoy boozing. I enjoy drinking.
Where do you go? You a city guy? You're a Hamptons guy? Where are you?
I used to be a city guy, but
You
now
don't
it's
strike
like,
me as a wild party guy.
I enjoy going out. I like the out east, summertime, Hamptons, Montauk.
Yeah?
But city, not so much. I haven't gone to the city in years.
Really?
Yeah, it's
There's no place to party in Long Island anymore. Like, you are of that age
There
where you
are.
remember clubs and stuff. We
Yeah.
used to have them.
Yeah.
Now we don't.
no, because now everything is like an upscale steakhouse with a bar in it that turns into like a music night, and
Yeah.
they don't really have.
There's no
clubs.
more raunchy bottle service. Nothing. None of that.
Nah,
It's over.
But that stuff, like, that's cool if you go to Vegas, I guess. But I'm not spending my Friday night getting
So what do you
bottle
do?
service anymore.
It's Saturday night. You feel like getting loose. Where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm gonna sound like an old person.
It's freaking. It's hard.
It is hard.
It's not the same.
Oh man, I do enjoy like going out to like a good dinner, couple of good friends, good dinner, and then just winging it from there. Going to bars. You know, I live in Huntington, so I'm a Huntington person.
Huntington's got some good spots.
I enjoy
Parking
Huntington
sucks.
Village. It blows. That's why I Uber in there. But I enjoy Huntington Village, or I enjoy Babylon Village too. It just depends, but mostly Huntington, or I'll go out to Nassau. So there's some places in Nassau that have like Tuesdays and Wednesdays that turn into parties that's bananas. Like Limani, or not Limani, the other place, Kima or whatever.
Oh,
They
Thursday
have
night. It's a
Thursday
crazy
night over there.
divorce
It gets crazy.
Bro,
over there.
some lady like clawed another lady's eye out one time on Thursday
hysterical.
night. That place gets wild.
It gets wild. It gets wild. But it's like you got they're on the hunt there. Those
But
women.
it's an older crowd.
Thursdays, I think there's a Tuesday night one too, or Tuesday or Wednesday.
You like the older ladies or the younger ladies?
younger?
Or you don't care. You're an
I'm
equal
not
opportunity
biased.
provider.
I'm not biased. Yeah,
You're an
I'm
equal opportunity provider.
I tend to lean towards the younger ones, but I'm an equal opportunity. But,
Yeah, it's not the same. All right, so we're gonna do this. Now that I've passed. I mean, bro, we sent over I even wrote the description for the love of God. Pictures, everything.
I know you made it very, very easy. With the description, I remember texting you because I was like, I kind of wanted to. So I'm
No,
a
you
control
could-
freak.
you could
I
wing
like
it.
getting
Take it.
my own pictures. I like writing the description.
Oh yeah. Did the
I-
picture thing upset you?
No, not at all. It
Okay.
made it easier for me because the pictures actually came out good, but I like my photographer and I know he's great at what he does. So when you said I took care of the pictures, I was like, oh, let's see what these things look like. But they were actually very good. And your description wasn't bad. I just added to it.
It's cool.
It's,
I don't need control like that.
Yeah.
My point is like I try to make it easy for people like you to want to work with people like me.
you made it very easy. All I had to do was upload everything.
In the same way that I'm sure like you structure your business to make your sellers and buyers make it easy for them to work with you.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm also, there's some clients that like constant contact.
Okay.
Like what's going on right now? Like, do we get any offers? How did showings go today? How did
You do that manually, or you have some kind of a digital way to do that?
I do it? I call them and talk to them. It's just, but I have people that a lot of my clients don't ask me those questions. I get a lot of my older ones do. They want to know like, as soon as the showing's over, like, hey, what happened? Feedback.
You got to figure at any given time, you probably have 15 active listings. Is that an accurate statement?
Around 10. Active. I mean, well, active.
Yeah.
Past 2 years, they've been just flying. So.
Well, I mean between like on the market, under contract, like somewhere in the mix.
Yeah,
because-
yeah.
You probably have about
Like
15.
12 to 15, yeah.
Yeah, going on at some time. So like that's a lot of people to just be like, hey, yeah, it's cool, and then going out and getting more business.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is, but you get used to it, and it just becomes like repetitive, and they're 5-minute conversations. So it's, I mean, granted, I do have some clients that I could spend an hour on the phone with them,
Yeah.
and they just keep repeating themselves and asking me the same things, but
Yes.
it's part of the, you have to do it. So,
I feel like you and I need to get a little more tech savvy.
for sure.
I'm trying.
For sure.
I'm trying. It's
I'm gonna
not
just
easy.
start asking my niece to help me with everything because she's like on point with stuff.
Well, the social media thing, bro, like you're a fucking handsome dude and you're fashionable. You got to be on social
I
media.
appreciate that. I don't.
People will want.
I'm
I mean,
not big on it. I don't know.
what is it about social media thing that you don't like?
It's not that I don't like it. Like, I do enjoy some people's pages, like watching what they put up, and I think Dan's very good at his social media. I think he's very original. I think you're original.
Thanks, man.
Matt Leonetti, I think, is very original. But then 95% of the other people I see on there, it's just repetitive. They're just copying something that
Yes.
somebody already did, and they're just throwing it up and doing. Like, if I see
True.
one more dance thing with, it just drives me crazy, and I cringe when I watch it. So, like, I'll never get into that type of social media.
It can
It's
be
just-
anything you want it to be.
Yeah, it's just not for me. But I don't know.
Like, what are
I'm
your
not-
hobbies? You play golf? What are you into?
I enjoy golf, sports in general, but golf, basketball, soccer. Went to school for soccer.
No shit.
That's pretty much it. But golf, I've been getting really into golf. I'm obsessed with golf now.
Are you?
Yeah. You don't golf, right?
I have ADHD to the max, dude. So like, for me, golf is like a torturous game.
Is it?
First of all, it's just it requires a lot of
slow
concentration,
pace,
and
or-
I'm like, like I want to like slam balls on the ground and like,
Yeah.
you know, I used to competitively surf when I was a kid. I was, having a moment recently where I'm like, you know what, I need to like kind of get back and do some stuff that I enjoy doing also. I'm like, let me go buy a couple
Surfing, huh?
surfboards.
You
I
never
used-
would have guessed that in a million years that you
Used
were
to,
a surfer.
I was obsessed with surfing, bro. I used to go to Hawaii every year, surf the North Shore for 3 weeks. I used
That's
to do
awesome.
local ESA competitions.
Wow.
I was like, surfing was literally my life. Anybody who knew
Wow.
me at like 20 years old was like I had a girlfriend at that time who I haven't seen in freaking 20 some odd years. And her mother follows me now, and her mother's like, "Oh, you still surfing?" I'm like, "No." She's like blown away. Like that was literally my obsession at the time.
Where do you even like learn to surf on the island? Like, where is there surf?
Long
foot?
Beach. I lived in Long Beach for a while. Listen, the surf doesn't get that good often, but it does at some times.
Yeah.
And if you're so into it, you don't care. Like I used to go in the winter, full
That's
suit with the
craziness.
mitts and like ice cream headaches. It's
Yeah.
freaking 10 degrees outside.
That's nuts.
The water's 37 degrees.
I have a buddy that's like that. He's still like that. He had a place in Long Beach for years too, but he would get in the whole get up and get in there in like January.
Bro, this guy's that golf in the middle of the winter with like red golf balls in the snow. Like that
Yeah,
shit
it's-
happens.
it's crazy.
People take everything to the extreme. I just happen to take everything to the extreme, which is why I don't drink. To come full circle.
I can't believe it. I mean, that's impressive. I respect that, but
It
I
saves
feel
me-
like. But also, you take things to the extreme, so maybe drinking isn't the best.
That's
thing for
why
you,
I don't do
'cause
it.
Then if you start to enjoy it,
I'd be fucking
you might just
whacked
walk
all the
around
time.
drunk all the-
This whole place would disintegrate and fall apart. No, exactly. Between not liking the taste and just being like, you know what, this is bad for me. I try to only get addicted to things that are positive.
Right.
With I'm
So
sure-
right now it's the gym.
No, that's for me. I'm not addicted to the gym. I do it because it makes me feel good, and I have to.
Right.
Otherwise we'll just look like a bag of shit because I want to be able to eat a pint of ice cream once a week and
That's
be okay
exactly
with it.
why I exercise, so I can
That's
eat
it.
whatever I want. I could care less.
Nobody
about
likes working out, bro.
Six-pack, and yeah, people that say
No,
they
the
do
six
are
pack is
liars.
good. You like the six pack, bro.
I don't mind it, but it's not why I work out. I work out so I can
Yeah.
eat whatever I want. So I can eat French fries, I can drink, and not have to worry about.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the dad bod is in, but
I feel like the dad bod's always been it.
it hasn't.
No?
No, in the 90s, it wasn't. In the 90s, everybody was juiced up with tribal band tattoos, barbed wire, and they were shirtless at
Do you
freaking...
remember the? Oh my god, that's
Yes.
so funny.
Yes.
That's
Everybody,
so funny.
and they were juiced up, and everybody was at, where was it? Like CPI's
Yeah.
or fucking, what was that other place in the Hamptons during the day on Sundays? Was that CPI's?
No, where everybody.
Not
used
the
to-
Bordy Barn.
Where everybody used to take drugs.
Yeah, and slam their chest
slam
each
their
other like a
chest
bunch
each
of
other.
gorillas.
They just sold that place a couple of years ago.
Neptunes. Yes. That's what it was.
That place was bananas. I used to. I
Today
went
it's a
there
different
couple
story.
of times.
Today it's
Well, lean is in now. Lean, it's more lean.
or dad
and-
bod girl.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be a man. It's so much easier to be a man. It really
Yeah.
is than a woman. It's very hard to be a woman. I have the utmost respect for women. They really have it tough.
In what sense?
In every sense.
Yeah.
What do girls get over men besides free drinks and into clubs faster? Nothing.
I mean,
Dude,
when
they
you
get
put it like that.
periods, pregnancy, menopause.
for that.
Those 3 things are enough,
Yeah.
right?
Periods and pregnancy. Can never. I don't even like needles.
That's what I'm saying. Just forget about anything else. Those 3 things alone. We don't have to deal with that shit. But my sister, I just became an uncle for the first time. My sister just had a
Congrats.
kid. Thank you. She was in labor for 22 hours, and then like, the kid's head's too big. C-section time.
Oh,
what the fuck?
brutal.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
I only just recently found out what a C. I knew C-section was like they cut you open and take the baby out.
Do they put your
But
guts on a
they
table?
Take everything out.
how do they
of
get
you.
to the kid? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Women are
Dude, we pee standing up.
miraculous.
It's all, yeah. Imagine going into a nasty bar and being a girl and trying to have to hover with no sidebar in the bathroom. How do you do that? You know what kind of leg strength that requires?
I can't do public bathrooms.
Really?
Piss, yeah, I can't do public bathrooms.
What do you mean? You just stand
Too
up
much
and
of a
pee?
germ. No, pissing I can.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
I had
take
to go. Yeah.
a
if I had to
steamer?
go,
No,
like, to
no,
the-
no.
Can't do it.
But girls can't, I mean, dude, girls can't stand up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's very difficult. It's difficult to be a woman.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer to be a man. Yeah. It's just too hard. It's too hard.
On that note, listen, I appreciate you
Let's
coming.
edit that out.
I appreciate you coming down. Listen, if anybody is obviously out there looking to buy or sell, how do they get in touch with you?
Gino Marino, work at Signature Premier Properties.
Dude, I love the name. It flows.
Yeah, no big social media, so cell phone, email 631-432-9415. That's it.
You're an old soul with like a modern twist.
Pretty. That's actually a perfect way to put it.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
That's it.
Old school gentleman, modern twist. Obviously, I'm the handsome home buyer. You know, if you have a house that smells like cat pee, it doesn't matter. You know I want to buy it. 516-777-SOLD. We got the captain, 516-513-8838. And obviously, if you are looking to work with a mortgage broker, and you got to be looking to work with a mortgage broker right now, if you are a buyer or if you are an agent or if you are an investor, Sal Rizzolo, Cardinal Financial, his number's right here. We do that thing that these guys do. Give them a call. That's a wrap.